kids, welcome back for some more story time with Albert. As you can see, I'm not wearing a tie today. Look at that, because you don't have to wear a tie on Sundays unless you're going to church, but Albert doesn't do that. And don't worry, I have not joined the gang. What this is this was a free shirt from a marijuana store. It gave it to me the first time I purchased there, because you have to go through a registration thing. And it's very comfortable. It's out in Reseda. I can't remember the name of it. I don't think this is the name of it. But anyhow, thank you for joining me, because we got an intriguing one. Look at that. The true story of the three little pigs. True, right? Which implies the original one was false. See that? Now, I'm very, very intrigued by these true story kind of approaches, so I have not read it. We're going to discover together why this might be something revelatory, revealing. All right. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs, and it's by A Wolfe. Get it? That's cute. To Jerry and Molly, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. And don't worry, this looks pretty short, and then after this you could go out and play. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, at least they think they do. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody ever heard my side of the story. Ooh, well. Now look who we got here. It's Alexander T Wolfe, but it says you can call him Al. So I almost feel like I've stumbled onto my autobiography a little bit here. But it says that, I don't know how this big bad wolf thing got started, but now you're going to hear the true story, my side of the story, okay? Now, he's wondering how it got started. He says here, maybe it's because of my diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and what else did you get? Sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, they would probably think you were big and bad too. And see, kids, look what he did here. He stuck little critters in the cheeseburger to make a point that if we had cheeseburgers with cute little things in them, then we'd be the monster. That might be a little gratuitous, though, on the part. Farooq says, yes, Reseda, a truly cursed land. I love the valley. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just like grids. Anyhow, let's move on. But it says he's claiming here that Big Bad Wolf thing is all wrong. The story is really about a sneeze and a cup of sugar, and he did that on a blackboard. See that to illustrate. And then look, he's really gonna try to walk that walk. This is the real story. See, it looks like a ransom note, so maybe this is the truth, because ransoms usually are real, right? They really kill the person if you don't pay. Oh, here's a big one. I'm gonna have to fold this all the way out. Okay. See, it was once upon a time, way back once upon a time, he's making a birthday cake for old granny. Well, that's a twist. And he ran out of sugar. And he had a bad cold. Now, kids, never make food or touch Albert when you're sick. Never. Just don't do it. But look, there's a bunny in that cake. So, if this is the true story, and that's not a good look, stuffing a bunny in there. Yeah, just don't touch things when you're sick. Oh, people. Oh, but you see up there in the picture, look at that. See the granny wolf? It's like that was a separate person and not the Goldilocks. Like it's like these tails are twined. That's pretty deep. Now this looks really cool. Look at that. Now he's on his way to borrow a cup of sugar. See, he's flipping the little mug there. And it says, so he walked down the street to ask his neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, his neighbor was a pig, okay, now, and he wasn't too bright, but he built a whole house of straw. Okay, that's true. That would not be very bright. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind builds a house of straw? And what's cool about this, see how it looks blurry? Like, the further you go away, it's like how people far away do not matter. Like when they're starving in other countries. They just get indistinct. All right, so let's take a look what happens here. All right. Sorry, it's tough to do this with a cigarette, even a fake cigarette. Okay, so he's looking in and he's saying, can I borrow some sugar, I think, right? Because the minute he knocked on the door, it fell right in because it's straw, right? An idiot made it. And I just want to borrow some sugar, and he doesn't want to just walk in. So he says, little pig, you in there? There's no answer. But he can't go home without the cup of sugar because he needs it for the birthday cake. And uh-oh, he felt a sneeze coming on, of course. And he starts huffing, and he starts puffing. And kids, I think you know what this might lead to. And boom. Look at that. And that is really cool. It's got a lot of texture. And it says right up there, and I sneezed a great sneeze. And Farooq says, only touch Albert when you're full of health. That is true, Farooq. Always. Never touch Albert if you got any kind of, even if you got an allergy, just let's play it safe. Oh, who's the artist author? Looks like down here we got a John, oh man, but it's illustrated by Lane Smith. That's a good old-fashioned name. You want to buy that guy a drink in a 1930s newspaper bar. Lane Smith here. All right. Oh. All right, so look what he did. He sneezed, and you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle, that pile of straw was first little pig, dead as a doornail. He'd been home the whole time. He's looking at the body he made. And now he's thinking, all right, we had witnesses. He's thinking the usual things, right? Did anyone hear that? Let's see what he says down here. He says, it seemed like a shame to have a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. All right, so he sneezes, he kills someone, and he eats their corpse. See, kids, this is a lot like the movie Hannibal, which you're too young, maybe, to see, but that sort of thing does happen. Like Anthony Hopkins did it. Now, he said he was feeling a little better, but he still didn't have his cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. The neighbor of First Little Pig's brother, he was a little smarter, but not much. He built, yeah, that's how brothers are. Sometimes they're a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. Ah, see, this is going just like the original tale, but I don't know. In the original Three Little Pigs, does he eat the pig after he blows down the straw? I thought what happened is the little pig goes to the other house, runs there, and by the end, there's all three of them in the brick. Oh, I'm giving stuff away, sorry. But this is different. What he did here is he rang the bell on the stick house. Now, nobody answered, and he said, Mr. Pig, are you in? And he yelled back, oi, go away. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. That's a more expensive razor than Albert has. I got the little disposables. He's got one with the flex head. Damn it. Pig's outstripping me here. Okay, so we see destruction, so I think we know what's coming here. I just grabbed the doorknob when another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I puffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, which he means snout. Does it say snout or does it say mouth? It says mouth. I guess they have mouths too. But I sneezed a great sneeze. Oh, we got another corpse, but it's just the ass, so it's all right. It's just here. what it says here. And you're not going to believe it. The guy's house fell down just like his brother's. And when the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolfe's honor. Okay, so he's saying it's just the houses are killing the pigs. Huh. Oh, this is interesting. He's doing a little intellectualizing here. Let's look at this. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. Oh, God. Because there's a lot of blood. I mean, he didn't bleed these first. He didn't halal them. And famous, Farooq says, oh, yes, the famous film Silence of the Hannibal. Pretty much. And then, wait, Hannibal's the sequel. That's right. Right, David Mamet wrote it. That's why I know, because David Mamet's awesome, in a way, for that. Okay, so his cold's feeling better. He still needs to get the sugar for the cake. And the guy was like, first and second little pig's brother, he must have been the brains of the family. He built the house of bricks. Oh, so he's seeing the house of bricks. And this almost kind of looks like the place where Hannibal keeps people. Actually, look at that. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called Mr. Pig. Mr. Pig, are you in? And you know what? The rude little porker. Oh, man, that's a slur. That's real bad. Don't say that to, not to pigs, but to overweight people. Get out of here. Wolf, don't bother me again. Don't bother me again? Oh, don't bother me after this. All right, now we got a wide one here. Let's see this here. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic left to right on the mirror image for the camera. Now talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar in there, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup. God damn it. Oh, he didn't say God damn it. Sorry, kids. Don't say God damn it if anyone's around. For my sweet old granny's birthday cake, what a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday cake, birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. He huffed, he puffed, and sneezed. Again, and the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. And by pin, he just means pin. He doesn't mean anything else. And look at that, he's looking out there. And that's what the riots are doing to Albert, making him indoors. And COVID, too. See, someone knocks on the door now. I make them say, absolutely. The only way I'll open the door is if they say out loud, absolutely, positively, no lives matter, so that they're neutral. And then it's okay, right? If they say any kind of lives matter, then you're not coming in. You're not getting any Albert access. See, now I'm getting suspicious here. Because he said he's always sneezing right when he needs to get into a house. And he's not sneezing otherwise. And now he's doing an 80s dance. That's cute. But why would he do that? Let me see this. Now, I'm usually pretty calm. But when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. So when the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down the pig's door. Of course. Of course I'm trying to break down the door. I'm trying to get even here. Of course, right? Of course you do breaking and entering when someone pisses you off. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Yeah, he was. Look at that. That's a real scene, all right. Fungus lives matter. Hey, Z, you're here. It's all right. We're just about at the end of the book. This is going to be a short one because the book's really thin. Z says it's kind of a rapey vibe. You know what? That's a very impressively performative sort of rapey ritual there. You dance outside the house first with the 80s dance. And look, he's doing the walk like an Egyptian arms, which is classic 80s move. And so there was a photographer there for the newspaper. Caught the photo of him doing that. And that means they must have caught him. He's in the paper. Oh, there's other headlines here. What do they say? Wolf, I'll huff and I'll puff. Now, the news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. Let me get a little more light on that. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. Grr, and he's tearing up the newspaper. Grr. That's it. That's like me with every newspaper every day for everything that's in the newspaper. Not that I ever read newspapers. That's it. The real story. I was framed. Oh, and there's just one more picture here. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. Now look what we got here. This is deep. We can really unfold this. He's got a beard, so he's been in there a long time. Just regretting his life, regretting the choices he made. And then look at the guard as a pig. So I think that's kind of saying something else about cops that's fairly unflattering. And Farooq says, Red Riding Hood settles dispute out of court. Oh, was that something else it said in the headlines? I can't really see. The screen's real small while I'm looking. But look at this. Lumps to watch. What's the moral of the big bad wolf? Don't be tasty. Well, you know, I'm going to give us a little moral music here. The moral of the story, kids. You see, Mommy and Daddy can go to prison for all kinds of reasons. It doesn't have to be that they're just smacking each other, or smacking you, or smacking the neighbor, or tying the dog to the roof and going on the freeway because they don't want the dog inside in case it bathrooms, or them doing drugs, or them bringing someone over who has drugs and then they all do drugs together and then they kill the guy or girl to get the rest of the drugs for themselves. You know, there are all kinds of reasons that people can wind up behind bars, and a lot of them are fine. It's just the way things work with humans. You know, they're doing all this teaching at home with kids on the Zoom, like a conference call classroom. And behind the kids, you're starting to see parents now walking around, basically scratching their sack, and they got tattoos running up on the inside of their thigh, and they're drinking beer at like 10 in the morning because it's easier than looking for a job, right? Well, now that we know that that's kind of what's going on out there, I think you kids need to know that you're not alone when your mommy and daddy do terrible things to each other, you and strangers. And sometimes they'll even do it to friends and relatives. They just need stuff. And don't we all need stuff? Like you need ice cream? Mommy needs a mescaline. And we get a few comments here, which is Z says, this kind of gives me the 23-year-old man who pissed in an alleyway, put on sex offender registry after cop runs out bush with guilty suit. Yeah. Never publicly urinate unless you are so certain that no one's looking. Oh my God, that's the worst thing. You know, I once saw this television show. It was great. It's this British television show. I think it's called The Street. And there was this teacher, and he was just jogging, and he had to piss. And he just pulls off into some trees, like he's running. He runs off into some trees, and he's taking a piss. And a girl is fetching a Frisbee that her dad threw, and she runs right into his line of vision. Hey, thank you, Levi, banker. All right, jackpot. And Levi, Barry Bible is coming back Wednesday night. Just for you. Gonna get some berry, baby. Anyhow, sounds like normal mom and pop behavior, yeah. But this guy, this jogger, he was a teacher, and that little girl who went to fetch the Frisbee and saw him with it out and having a slash, she was in his classroom. I mean, the odds, right? It's British drama, but at the same time, it can happen to all of us. It could be some neighbor's kid, right? And it's just you happen to be 50 miles away on a beach and no one's looking, and man, I've had to go on a beach, right? And there's no public things, and you're wearing regular clothes, so you can't go out into ocean water and just do it out there, right? So you're just looking, and you're looking, you go, okay, I can just take a piss now, right? You go standing up against the cliffside. Some kid runs around the corner with a little SpongeBob inflatable thing, and then you're there with your thing in your hand. Now, it's never happened to me, but I think now we should stop feeling like we can get so lucky with that. We gotta make sure that the horizon is clear in all directions for miles. Remember that. That's a bonus moral to this story. Kids, you can just piss wherever. It doesn't matter, right? No one's gonna bust you for being a pervert because you're too young. Z says, if there were no kids, there would be no child molesters. Huh. You know what? If there was no age of consent, there would be no child molesters. We're gonna have to think about that. That might be an interesting topic for Radio Albert. We'll just show the trailer for the film Cuties on Netflix and go, should this make us angry and disgusted? Or should we just go, okay, kids are up for grabs now. It's just, what can you do, right? We got internet. As soon as you get internet, you get kids that are sex. That's the way it works. And I want to thank you for joining me for Storytime for kids, and because of the time zone, Europeans. See how that works? That's great. And Genius fixed everything. Thank you, Z. Everyone happy. Oh, that's right. Everyone would be happy except for the kids who are getting grinded on by big husky neighbors. But hey, you gotta break some eggs to make that omelet. Farooq says the moral is only pee in public if you're alone in a desert. I also want to say forest with a lot of crunchy underbrush, because then you can also hear people coming from far away, right? That's how deer use it to urinate. Kids' lives don't matter. What time on Wednesday, says Levi? 6:30 Pacific. Okay, thanks for watching, and go have a good Sunday. It's a great Sunday. Or if you're in Europe, have a nice Sunday night. Have a beer on Albert. All right. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye, everyone. And comments again, solid gold, baby. Solid gold. Last comment says, see you next time, Albert. See you next time. I guess that's the same thing. Bye-bye.